Good afternoon. My name is Logan Herring, and welcome back to the virtual Lunch and Learn series. This is the second week that we're holding these Lunch and Learns virtual. Again, my name is Logan Herring. I'm the CEO of Riverside, Kingswood Community Center, and the Warehouse. Speaking of the Warehouse, we have some special guests. You could say they're celebrities in the house today with us. We have two of our very own teens, Nysir Wright and Khi'Aire Martin, and we also have the Director of Operations of the Warehouse, Melody Phillips. Welcome to the virtual Lunch and Learn, everyone. How are you today?
Doing well, thank you, Logan. Kai and Nasir, how are you?
I'm good.
I'm doing pretty fine.
You're doing pretty fine. All right. You don't sound excited to be here. But we're going to make you get excited because everyone's dying to hear from our teens at the warehouse. They want to know how this pandemic is affecting you, how you're coping, and some of our plans for the warehouse during the pandemic. So, Mel, I'm going to start with you. If you could just talk a little bit about where the warehouse is in terms of what we're doing in programming, the state of programming, and how we are coping as an organization during this pandemic.
Yes, so we are actually super excited because we launched virtual programming and we are just really excited about that. We have over 22 partners who have signed up to participate in virtual programming within the 5 pillars. So that's recreation, education, arts, career, and health. We have program partners who will come in and do, you know, test. They'll do some things in our demonstration kitchen with cooking classes. We have high intensity interval training coming. We even are going to do a virtual trap and paint with our teams. Our teams did a live trap and paint last year, and so we're going to bring that virtually. That was one of our really events that's turned out really well. So just super excited about the virtual programming. We have a lot of different partners. It's going to go for about 2 weeks, and then as things continue to progress and depending on how things transpire with COVID-19, we'll continue to expand it and extend that out to other partners. One of the unique things about virtual programming is that we're not just launching it for our teen employees or just teens in the state of Delaware. We're focusing on the tri-state area, so Delaware, New Jersey, and Pennsylvania. So this is programming that will be offered to teens 13 to 19 years old within the tri-state area. As long as they complete a warehouse membership application, they'll be able to get the Zoom link in order to participate in that virtual programming.
Cool. Thank you for that update. So let's kick it to the celebrities of the hour, or the lunch hour, rather. Let's start with Khi'Aire Martin. Khi'Aire, you want to talk about your involvement with the warehouse, when that started, and just before you even do that, introduce yourself, your age, your school, what you plan to do after school, all that good stuff that you do.
Gotcha. All right. My name is Khi'Aire Martin. I'm 18. I'm a senior at Howard High School. What I plan on doing after high school is we're working and we actually talked to Melody and the rest of my supervisors about going to the Delaware Skills Center. We're trying to figure out how scholarships for that so I can get my certification for computer networking. And then other than that is arts, like modeling, music, things like such. And for the virtual programming, it was brought to me by Melody, Nianta, and Jenny in a Zoom call, because we have weekly Zoom calls and meeting. And they were brainstorming. They had came up with a couple of ideas. There's a Wild and Out. I came up with one about mental health. And it was a bunch of ideas that they had, and then we also had our ideas. And we were let's make it virtual. And our idea was that was let's see. So one of the teams that I'm on is social media. So it's marketing that. So we had to create, before we had our digital flyer, we were posting on our stories, asking people would they be interested in it. And then after that, once we begin to actually work on it, we began promoting it. And then that's when Miss Felisa made a flyer and we posted it. And then we're actually helping with our program partners as they facilitate their programming.
Excellent, excellent. Thanks for that update. Nasir, you want to introduce yourself to everyone?
My name is Nysir Wright. I'm 16 and I go to Brandywine High School and I'm a sophomore. I joined the warehouse in summer 2019. When I joined, it was we was planning to have events. We had to We gotta like plan out for stuff. We gotta do like sheets and pick the stuff that we need like to have the events. We planned out for it, and yeah, and with the online virtual thing, we heard about it last week, and we decided that it was a good thing we should do. That so we know what we're gonna do when a warehouse actually open. So all the teams that all of us that work there, we all pick one that we want to like help in, pick one that we wanted to help in, so that the program partners that's doing it, they can like have help and know what they're doing.
Cool, thank you. So I know I'm disappointed because the warehouse was slated to open, I think around spring break, April 17th, somewhere that week. And I know we weren't able to do that. So we are shifting to the virtual programming. But can you talk about, I guess, your feelings, the fact that the building is not able to be open right now, and some of the feelings you may have towards that, and then also how you feel about the virtual programming as well. And Khi'Aire, why don't you start off?
How do I feel about it? I feel like now, like kind of reflecting on it, we were like literally we were like freshly moved in, we were like getting settled in, and I guess like when we first heard about it, like we were like it was something that was serious, but I didn't expect for like this to happen. So I guess like I don't know, it's like I really haven't processed it much, but it's like it's different because like this is something that we waited for like a while, so it's like I feel like it's kind of similar to like what other teams say. Like we're just like trying to figure out when we're gonna be able to actually like go back. And I feel like the way it affected me mostly, because I go outside like before this all happened, but I didn't really go outside as much. Like it was like either if I'm like going to school, going to like my family's house, or like going out to like buy things. Most of the time, I wasn't really going outside, so that didn't really affect me there. But I feel like it affected me with school, like education, and then like not even just our like curriculum, but then also like I'm pretty sure like most people know like prom, graduation, senior events, such things like such. So it's like it's affecting not even just seniors though, like the whole class. Because like my sister was even saying it, like freshmen are not really getting their experience, juniors are not getting their experience, sophomores are not really getting their experience. Like it's like high school's an experience, so like they're missing out on that.
Yeah, I can understand that.
Can
But other than
understand.
that, that's pretty much it.
Okay. Well, thanks for sharing that with us. Nasir, what are your feelings with, the warehouse not being able to open, or if you want to talk about school, what are your feelings with everything shut down?
My feelings with the warehouse shutting down is like I was planning on like going to the warehouse and start like doing the programming and stuff in there. But like when I heard the coronavirus and it came out, and then we got the text saying that the warehouse is not going to open the spring break when it was supposed to open, everybody's mindset just fell down. And it like just broke all our hearts because we was all planning on getting in there. And the coronavirus affected me in school because like it was my 10th grade year, so I wanted to like fully experience it, not doing the online stuff with the computers. I wanted to actually be in school, go outside more, and enjoy life.
Thank you. So, Mel, as the fearless leader of the warehouse now, and congratulations on your promotion. Same title, but more responsibility. How do you feel about everything in the current state at the warehouse right now?
It's kind of like bittersweet because I was super pumped like the teens for the warehouse to open spring break week. We had all these events planned. We had a huge transportation loop that was going to go around the city in conjunction with the City of Wilmington Parks and Rec that we had been planning to make sure that teens who wanted to come to the center during that soft launch and then that grand opening that they were able to get from all sides of town to get to the warehouse. So that part was really disappointing because there was so much planning that went into it, and we weren't able to do that. On the other side, I really have to give credit to the teens and to the warehouse staff, Nianta and Jenny, who have stepped up to the plate to create virtual programming that we can extend to teens throughout the city, throughout the county, and again throughout the tri-state area. So while it is, sad because the space of the teen center is dynamic. Like, I so enjoy going into that building every day and just being able to, see what it looks like now that construction is complete. And not being able to see the teens every day inside of the building, and, having our witty banner and being able to get them, working and things like that. That's sad, but we are definitely moving forward with the virtual programming. So kudos to them for, being creative and coming up with different creative ideas to, move that. And in fact, we have so far 90 teens who have created profiles in RecDesk, and now we're moving them into the membership application phase so they all can participate in this virtual programming. So I got that update to, so I'm just really excited about that.
Thanks, Mel. So, Mel, it sounds like some of the things that we're doing now due to COVID closing the facilities, are there some things that will sustain as we move forward, even when we open back up in the physical nature? Can you talk about, I guess, some of the transition into going virtual and then some of those learnings that we might be able to incorporate as we come back to, the new normal?
Yes, so one of the things that we have been able to kind of really learn about COVID-19 is the whole way we get teens and our parents to sign up for the virtual programming as well as for their membership. So everything that we have right now is all online. So making sure that they have a understanding. We use a database system called RecDesk. So trying to make sure that our teens and our parents have a clear understanding of how to navigate that database system. So one of our learnings coming out of that, we had a conversation and we're going to do an online training so parents and teens really understand how to complete the RecDesk membership application. On a really neat side, some of the virtual programming will continue. So post COVID-19, we will still be able to offer virtual programming to teens who are in the tri-state area that may have signed up for virtual programming during COVID-19, but are unable to actually physically come to the building after COVID-19, and we want to still offer that virtual programming so we can still consider them teen members of the warehouse.
Excellent, excellent. So Nysir and Khi'Aire, I have another question for you. Nysir, you're going to go first. Name one good thing and one bad thing that you have experienced as a result of COVID-19.
19.
One one bad thing it would be. I'm gonna start with the bad. One bad thing would be like I can't be in school. That really like broke me because school was like one of my main focus at the point. I was starting to get way better grades than I was getting in the beginning of the year. And a good thing is I want to say it's a good thing, but I can spend like more time with my family because we all like in a one house, so we spend more time together.
Okay. Now I want to ask you about those better grades that you were getting, and I hope that you're still getting them, although we are virtual right now. What changed when you started getting better grades?
I was like focusing more, studying, going to sleep early, being on time for classes. Yeah.
Where did you learn these behaviors, or you just decided one day you were going to do better?
No, cause at the warehouse before it closed, We was talking about it. Like everybody's starting to get better grades, so it can look better for us. Like when we presenting our report cards to other people.
Excellent, excellent. I was trying to pry that out of you, but I didn't want to tell you what to say, because I was hoping you was going to get the right answer. You did a good job. I'm proud of you. Khi'Aire, same thing for you. One good thing, one bad thing because of COVID-19.
One good thing out of this, I'm gonna say, is I've definitely been like inspired. I've been getting into new hobbies, spending a little bit more time on like my interests, I guess. And one bad thing would be kind of like similar to what Nysir said. Like it kind of affected my like education, cause it's like I have my teachers via like virtual like messaging apps, or like even if I want to get on the phone with them, I have that. But I feel like it's kind of different than when you're like physically with them. So it's like it's kind of hard. And then it's like it kind of affects my schoolwork because it's like it's like I want to do it, but I guess because I have like less structure here, I don't do it exactly when I feel like I should be doing it.
Excellent. Okay. So, Khi'Aire, you're what I guess the warehouse teams consider as an OG because you've been here for a couple of years now, right?
Yes.
You're an OG? Okay. So, as an OG, I remember some of those first conversations we had a few summers ago. And we talked about what your top priorities were as teenagers, top priorities, things we should have in the warehouse. And I remember the first priority was mental health, behavioral health support. And I just want to check in with you and maybe if you could speak about yourself or maybe some of your friends. How are you doing mentally right now during the COVID-19? And then also talk about why that was a priority for you guys, or still is a priority rather, at the warehouse.
Gotcha. Let's see. I feel like I'm gonna say like on a scale, I'm gonna say like a medium. Like it's good sometimes, and sometimes kind of like stressful with certain things. Like certain, like say for example, like homework or like schoolwork in general. Like it can be stressful sometimes. Mm, Yeah, it's like like a mixture. It's like sometimes good, sometimes bad, or not bad, but like stressful. And then I feel like one of the reasons mental health is like something that we prioritize is because it's like it ties back into like it's personal, but then it also ties back into group. So it's like similar like we work with Strive. It's like if one person's not doing good, like they can't work to their full potential. So it's like that kind of affects them, but it also affects the group. So it's like it's personal, but not even just personal, but it's also the group. So it's like, for example, like where we did the meditation. So if you're coming in stressed, you're probably gonna like like because you're stressed, you could take that out on someone else. Or like if two people are like stressed or like they experience something in their day, they may not be like working to their full potential. So that kind of affects the group work. So I feel like that is one of the reasons why we like prioritize mental health for personal reasons and for also group reasons.
Excellent. Thank you for sharing those insights. Now, Nysir, if you had to do a commercial or infomercial for the teens in the city of Wilmington, explain why the warehouse is the place to be and why they need to sign up.
All right, let me start here. The warehouse is upcoming teen center, right? So like it's plenty of teen centers around Wilmington, but like they only got like certain things in it. Like say one teen center got a gym, the other one got like a computer lab. Like it's different things, but the warehouse we have lots of things to do in there combined. Like we got a gym. It's like stuff combined. Everything is combined in one, and it's like people can come there. They can come there and get more what they will originally get.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Mel, I'm going to shift it back to you. What is it like working with these teens and the other teens that we've employed over the past couple of years? And be honest. Pull back, no punches.
So at times it has been challenging, but it is always rewarding. And what I mean challenging is that they push us to think outside the box. So even when I first came on board with the warehouse and, got embedded with the whole for teens, by teens model and concept, I always believed that youth should have a voice and kind of like a seat at the table. But hearing them, really voice their opinions and have an opportunity to kind of talk about what are the things that they wanted to see was really different. And they had a really great, a lot of great ideas. So that's been really, really unique. And then the times when we get to get to see them grow. So when Nysir mentioned earlier about his growth in education and seeing a lot of our teens who we're currently employing out of the 10 who remain and then 10 that were previously employed, our teens are extremely smart, extremely motivated, and so it's just a rewarding feeling working with teens who can, are creative and think about things not just for themselves but for other people.
Excellent. Do you have a favorite? All right, don't answer that. Don't answer.
No favorites.
Right. So, what's one thing that Mel has surprised you about our teens? Is there a certain, I guess, maybe a certain occurrence, incident, something that's really surprised you for the better?
Yes, actually, it was something that they wanted added. They wanted to make sure that the warehouse had AED machines and all of different first aid kits and stuff. And not that you don't normally think about that as adults, but I was just really, really surprised that teens were thinking about where to place them and making sure that people, oh, I want to make sure I go to first aid training and that they go to CPR training. And I had never heard a teen say that they were interested in participating in CPR first aid training, which I thought was really phenomenal. And then we have a lot of our teens who are really interested in being peer mentors and giving back. And then the community service that they have done, even when it's not for school hours. So that has really surprised me in a really good way.
So you touched on something. I want you to explain this culture, and then I'm going to have the teens explain the culture as well. But this for teens by teens culture, can you explain, I guess, the different steps that a teen must go to? As first is onboarding, and then they have opportunity to become mentors and staff. So could you just explain what that process is like?
Sure, yep. So our current teens and then any new teens who are interested in employment with the warehouse, they go through a series of steps in order to become gainfully employed with the warehouse. So first you become a teen member, and then while you're a teen member, you're introduced to an onboarding, you get orientation, you complete your membership application, you're introduced to our for teens by teens cultural problem solving training that our resident partner and one of our founding partners, Strive, How You Lead Matters, has created. Then from there, our teens participate in restorative practices because the warehouse is, we do everything restorative. We're not punitive and we don't believe in punishments. And then our teens participate in social emotional learning as well as trauma informed care. That leads them to, creating a cohort where they will then participate in a service learning project, something that they'll give back to the community. So during these stages, they're receiving different incentives, not paid employment yet, but different incentives for going through these trainings and then participating in the service learning project. And then from there, they'll participate in 7 weeks of job skills training, which includes a mock interview at the end. The mock interview is competitive, so the top 3 people get, gift cards. But then whomever has really done well during that mock interview stage will either be placed with us at the warehouse or one of our external partners. The unique thing about our Teens in Motion employment pipeline is that if for some reason a teen or a group of teens didn't do well in a certain area, we can have them go back through, whether it's professional development or it's reteaching them time management or financial literacy, to make sure that they understand and have those skills so they're prepared to either work for us or an external partner.
Excellent. It sounds like college all over again. No wonder they're going to be prepared when they leave the warehouse. So, I was about to say, Khi'Aire, it looked like you were frozen for a minute. Nysir, I want to start with you. What's your favorite part? Maybe it's favorite space in the warehouse, favorite component, the ability to work. What is one thing you would say is your favorite part of being a part of the warehouse?
My favorite part about being in the warehouse is like working with my colleagues because like we all work together to get the job done and like we all look out and care for each other.
So, Khi'Aire, what is your favorite part about being a part of the warehouse?
It's kind of similar to Nysir. It's like being around the team, like our supervisors, the other teams. Like we're like a family, and like I feel like not even just that, but like the time we spent with each other. Like I know Nysir was a part of like he joined in the summertime, but it's like each person that came onto the board, like we all have like history, and it's just like I don't know, it's like beautiful, like the time that we spent with each other and got to know each other. So I feel like that's like my favorite part.
You gave 2 very similar and interesting answers. And what I heard from you, that it's not about the space, it's more about the culture. Is that fair enough to say?
Yeah.
Yes.
Because if it was me, I would have been like the teaching, the demonstration kitchen, the movie theater. Like I would just went in and start talking about the spaces, but you guys talked about each other, which is interesting to hear. So with that culture that's been established, and we haven't really even had the building open, Can you speak more to what that means, that culture, that for teens, by teens culture, what it means to you? And Khi'Aire, we'll start with you.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna be a little bit time more to
Okay,
think.
I'll give you some time to think. Nysir, are you ready to answer that other question where something that you wish the warehouse had, or the question that I just asked Khi'Aire about the for teens, by teens culture?
The one thing I wish the warehouse can have is like computers, like a computer lab for kids to do like schoolwork for like
Okay.
yeah after schoolwork on the computers if they is online.
So Mel, are we addressing that? Because I know that's been mentioned before. Will we have access, or the teens have access to technology to do work after school?
Yes, we have two different ways. One is through our another resident partner, DHSS. They will have a computer lab specifically for teens who are employed with them but working inside the warehouse. And then the one that kind of speaks more to what Nysir is talking about is that we have a partnership with Markevius Gideon at Nerded Now, who's also a warehouse board member, and he is providing, we have a choice, actually. Markevius told me that we can either have 15 laptops or 15 desktops, depending on what we would like in the warehouse, but we do have a partnership with Nerded Now.
So Mel, for those teens and parents interested in finding out more about the warehouse, can you tell them where to look?
Yes, so they can go on the warehouse.recdesk.com, and that is the URL where teens and parents can sign up. We're accepting applications from teens 13 to 19 years old. It is a two-part process, so you complete your membership application first, and then the waiver. If you're 18 or 19, you can sign the waiver for yourself, and of course, if not, your parents will have to sign for you. So again, that's the warehouse.recdesk.com.
Thanks, Mel. And you can always visit our website, teenwarehouse.org. You'll follow us on social media. Thank you all for joining our second episode of the Virtual Lunch and Learn. Khi'Aire, Nysir, Melody, thank you for being here. Mel, thanks for being our fearless leader at the warehouse. Again, teenwarehouse.org. Make sure you follow us and support all of our teens in the city of Wilmington. Thank you.